Welcome back. You're still watching Perspective, and I'm talking to Aaron Fishman. Talking about cashew, you export, okay, it's going. What about Indonesia itself? The potential to develop a cashew market, for example.
The potential is huge, and it's so important that we develop that potential because cashews are grown in mainly NTT and NTB, the two of the poorest provinces in Indonesia. And cashew nuts from Indonesia, if the planting were developed on, are incredibly high quality. The world loves them. They're very good in flavor. They're very good in color. And so with focus on this industry, it can be a massive $300 million industry within 5-6 years in NTB and NTT. So
is it only like cashew in the finished product, or do you use, I don't know, for is there any other uses for cashew in terms of
global
flowers?
Cashew demand is really surging because people are using it as it's very popular for, you know, the what's it called, caveman diet. Have you ever heard of that, where you only eat proteins? It's very popular.
I only have rich diet.
It's great for a vegan. Have you heard of vegan? Okay, so they can't eat milk, so they make milk from the cashew nuts, like soy milk, but like it's much better. So that's really driving it. It's a healthy snack, high in protein, high in a lot of items. So the global consumption of nuts has been really growing.
Right. And what did you actually think you brought to that enterprise of yours?
That's a hard question because
I'm asking hard questions.
You know, I think the biggest skill that I brought, honestly, was to find a team. Yeah. Because the team does everything. I find, you know, maybe I found the first couple people, but they've taken it on, and you know, I wouldn't have been able to do any of this alone. But
you had no problem finding this? In terms of manpower, in terms of like,
in terms of labor, no.
Capabilities.
In the village, I mean, we have a 300-person long list of people ready to work for us. As we increase in capacity, we bring more people on. So we have
that's on the floor level. What about the management level?
Management level, we've actually trained all of our managers from within. So we haven't brought anyone. Every single employee at our factory, that's 300 people, is from that village, including the managers, the accountants, the
So you sign off a guarantee for the village. You're not going to get ousted from the village.
We're not going to get ousted from the village anytime soon. I live actually only 20 minutes from there in the village, so they all know me, and you know.
Right. Is a company like that? Have you heard about anything like that in the region, for example?
Not in the region. I mean, I guess you know, not too many people would choose to locate the factory where we did, and we specifically did it to develop that community. It would have been much easier to put it in the city, much easier. But the point of it was to develop the village and to provide economy for the village. So, no, I have not heard of in Indonesia. I have not heard of any.
It's when you operate in a place like that, where we can say far from places. I mean, like, how about funding? How do you get your funding?
The bank is quite far away. So that's what I mean. We try to do it as much as possible via electronic transfers, but we do have to, of course, we have to have a cash infrastructure system.
But even, you must have investors.
Yeah, we do. We have 3 other investors besides myself, and
they invest because you're doing the social thing, or
both.
You invest?
You know, that's the key about this business. It's a business. Yeah. It has to be profitable. It has to be profitable so that it can grow. So we're not dependent on grant funding. We're dependent on making the best product out there and telling our story and getting consumers to buy our product. The investors invested because they're business people and because they want the social change. Yeah. Did you see, for example, I guess the investors are not Indonesians. They are not, no.
Yeah, that's why. Because Indonesian is not really like developed that sense of helping companies that are actually doing
one of our goals this year is to find like-minded Indonesians. And I know, I mean, unfortunately, I'm in the village most of the time, so I don't do the rounds in Jakarta like I should. But I'm working on that this year, and one of our goals is to partner with an Indonesian with shared values. You know, developing the rural parts of Indonesia, doing it through business, and women's health, all of those things, a healthy food. We would love to partner with.
You should get a medal for like the reverse of transmigration. Bring back. What would you say would be the growth trajectory that that you've had so far, and then
So we've doubled every year that we've processed.
doubled
every year.
in terms of what?
Processing capacity.
Processing capacity.
Yeah. And employment. So this year will be the same. Next year will probably be the same. Doubling.
God, that's awful. That's awesome, not awful. And then what is the next plan? Have you got anything in view besides cashew? Like
we do. I mean, that was one revelation this year was, or last year was, that to treat the cashew farmers not as cashew farmers, but as farmers, and to realize that cashews were 3 months a year, but we can really work with them additionally
on
for
other crops.
Yeah, those other 9 months of the year. So livestock, other high-value crops, we'll be expanding that quite a bit.
On the same principle.
Exactly, on the same principle.
Okay. What would you say is the most viable thing in your place, in that area?
I mean, cashew, of course, is what drives everything.
But it's only 3 months, you said.
It is, but it provides 12-month employment because we hold those cashews for 12 months,
right,
and
it's stockwise. Yeah.
Exactly. So that drives everything. That brings all the infrastructure, all the trucks, all the communications, all the accountants, and all that kind of stuff comes from the cashews. So we can do other projects as well, but the main driver is cashew nuts.
What's next after that?
After cashews, or after we've processed every cashew in Indonesia?
After cashews.
There's a long.
No. If you want to develop something like, what would you say would be the best thing in your area? Yeah.
In our area, I mean, cashews still have a long way to go. So
you're just focusing on cashew, basically.
Well, no, I mean, in our area, so we're not just East Bali. Yes, we are East Bali cashews, but we would love to be in NTD and NTB as well. So it won't be to expand in Bali.
It will still be the focus will cashew, but in other regions.
It'll be cashews and Flores.
Right. Okay.
East Flores cashew. I don't know. We'll still call it East Bali.
Yes, we will break again. Please stay with us. We will be back.